Today, we need to talk about something critical. Back in 2019, the Japanese Cabinet Office, the Naikaku-fu, carried out a quiet public survey. They asked the public specifically about the withdrawal or cancellation of permanent residence permits in Japan. Well, today, that public survey has come true. What was just alarming information back in 2019 became the actual law of the land in June 2024. It's no longer just a question, it's reality. And this is a huge deal for all of us Gaijin because as the analysis in this new report shows, it fundamentally changes what it means to be a permanent resident in Japan. It shifts the ground beneath our feet. Alright, here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to look back at that 2019 public survey and trace exactly how it became law step by step. Then we'll break down the 3 new traps, the new rules that every single permanent resident must know. We'll also dig into why this is happening, the political storm, the Japanese first rhetoric, and the public anger you see online. And finally, we'll sort the facts from the fear and finish with a practical 2027 survival guide. Let's get into it. Hi guys, this is Alan and welcome back to Gaijin World. So first, let's set the scene. For those who are new, this channel, Gaijin World, has always been a lifeline for our community. We navigate the tough stuff, immigration, bureaucracy, all the high-stakes paperwork, and the question that survey asked was a bombshell. What are new reasons we should simply cancel someone's permanent residency? And the results, they were wild. More than 75% of the people surveyed said, yep, take away their PR for failure to fulfill public obligations. That means not paying taxes. And more than 70% said the same thing for non-payment of social insurance, your nenkin and health insurance. Now you have to remember at the time this stuff would get you a penalty. For sure, you'd get a warning letter. But it would not cost you your visa. No way! That was unheard of. Back in 2019, it seemed like just another random survey. In fact, it was the government testing the waters. The document itself said it was a reference for future policy. They were gathering the public support they needed to justify a future crackdown. Okay, let's fast forward to today. That alarming public survey from 2019, it's not a survey anymore. It is now Japanese law. The transition is complete. You can draw a straight, unbroken line. November 2019, the survey. March 2024, the bill hits the diet. June 14, 2024, it becomes law. Detailed guidelines came out in September 2025, and this new stricter system is set to take full effect nationwide by April 2027. So, the most crucial thing to understand is this fundamental shift. Permanent residency used to feel, well, permanent. It was a stable status. You earned it after 10 years, you were safe. But now, it's a conditional status. It's basically a contract you have to maintain. You are always being tested, and that doesn't just affect us. It sends a really strange signal to the global talent Japan says it wants to attract, especially when it's facing a severe labor shortage from an aging society. Okay, so what does this conditional status actually mean for you day to day? Well, the new law creates 3 specific traps that every single permanent resident must understand to survive here. Trap number 1, willful non-payment. This is the big one from the 2019 survey. Before, late taxes were a civil matter. Now, it's an immigration matter. The government says it applies to malicious cases, but who decides what's malicious? That power, that discretionary power, now rests entirely in the hands of an immigration official. That is a huge change from how things used to work. Trap number 2, the suspended sentence. This is probably the most radical shift. Previously, you needed to be a serious felon sentenced to actual jail time of over a year to lose your visa. Now, just a suspended sentence can trigger revocation. That means you don't even serve time, but for things like theft or minor assault, you could lose your PR. And trap number 3, administrative non-compliance. This includes things like failure to carry your residence card or not reporting address changes. Things that were once handled with small fines can now trigger a deeper investigation into your record. So, why is this happening? Why the drastic change 5 years after I first warned about it? It's a perfect storm. First, there's a storm of online disinformation. Second, real public anger over tourism. And third, those viral videos of nuisance influencers. The problem is, the anger aimed at tourists got pointed at us, long-term residents. This frustration was capitalized on by politicians. The rise of Japanese first rhetoric threatened the conservative base. So the LDP made a calculated move to appear tough on foreigners, and the polls backed them up. A 2025 NHK poll showed a stunning 64% of the public agreed that foreigners are overly favored in Japanese society. 64%. If you're a politician, that is a signal you absolutely cannot ignore. And this is the crazy part. It creates a massive tension. Japan is in a population crisis. They desperately need long-term, skilled foreign residents, yet at the same time, they pass a law that makes the staying here harder and less secure. Okay, with any new law, rumors fly. So let's tackle the biggest fears circulating in our community right now. Let's separate the facts from the fiction. The number one question: if I lose my PR, will my Japanese spouse and kids be deported? The official answer is in principle no. The law doesn't automatically revoke their status. However, and this is big, the real penalty is the downgrade. Their status might change from spouse of a permanent resident to long-term resident. They don't leave, but the family loses that rock-solid stability. Second huge fear: if I make one mistake, one late tax payment, am I immediately deported? Again, not exactly. The main penalty is usually a downgrade to a temporary renewable visa. But that downgrade is the weapon. It puts you under lifelong strict control. You have to fear that a small mistake or even a company error on a tax form could be seen as willful by an official and cost you your permanent status. Which brings us to the most important section. The new law hits full force in April 2027. So here is your 2027 survival guide, an action plan based on the government's own guidelines. Listen closely. The guidelines offer a one-time amnesty window. If you settle all past due taxes or pension payments before April 2027, your PR status is safe from revocation on those specific grounds. So step 1, be an accountant, clear all debt now. Step 2, be a saint. With the new rules, your margin for legal error is 0. And step 3, be a bureaucrat. Always carry your card report address changes immediately. The alarming prophecy from 2019 has come true. Permanent no longer means forever. It means indefinitely, as long as you comply. The only question left is, are you prepared? This is Gaijin World. Stay safe and be careful.